Do the trashy pulp novels of the world have anything to offer? Are bestsellers all they're cracked up to be? Here at Terrible Book Club, we explore whether you really can judge a book by its cover, or its ridiculous synopsis. You ever passed a book and thought, ugh, who's reading this? We probably are. All right, hello and welcome to episode 238 of the Terrible Book Club. I'm Chris, and this is Paris with a cocktail half in her mouth.
Hello.
Once again, we are recording these somewhat out of order, so we recorded Midnight Library, and now we're doing this one. We read Star Wars, Star Trek, and the 21st Century Christians by Winkie Pratney.
Hell of a name on that one.
That's some, like, British joke name shit is what that is.
Yeah,
you
it sounds fake. It sounds fake.
But yeah, so we are having another cocktail. You will know why by the time you hear this episode, because it was 2 episodes ago.
But we don't. That episode hasn't happened for us
Sure,
yet.
but I know what's going to happen.
This version of Chris in Paris has not had that episode yet. So.
Yes, so we don't know what happened specifically on that episode, but we're drinking the Beyonce.
Or Beyonce.
Which is basically a lemonade with a bourbon shot in it. So, you know, it's fine. I like a lemonade, and I guess if you spike it a little bit, cool.
Yeah, I don't like bourbon, but I love citrus, so this works out. It's fine.
Anyway, this is episode 238. We read something by Winkie Pratney. This was due to Beastwiththeleast. This is Beastwiththeleast patron request for this year. They sent this to us in a box full of other books as well that were sent to us just for like funsies.
Can I say how much I'm so excited to read the footnote book?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And
Paris was gifted a book about footnotes, which is...
And there's a footnote on the cover. I mean, I almost came.
Paris, noted foot fetishist.
I don't want that either. But thank you, Beastwiththeleast. What a wonderful package to receive. We didn't know we were receiving it, so it was even better. And I was so excited to see a book that was potentially good about footnotes, and the author's from Massachusetts. So I don't know, it's fun. I like that.
Yeah. Also in that package was a book called "Nibbled to Death by Ducks." So we might do that one too.
Right.
Just Beastwiththeleast getting bonus episodes here. If I'm stumbling over my words, it's because I'm getting a little drunk. This is cocktail 2 of the evening.
Yeah, the first one was a blended margarita with an avocado in it, and you would think that would, I don't know, help you not get fucked up, but I was feeling it halfway through, so I don't know. I'm sorry for whatever happened last episode, I guess.
Anyway, I feel remiss if I didn't let you know that this book was published in 1978 by Bible Voice Limited.
Oh, boy.
You know, just giving you a little idea of like what we're dealing with here. If this is your first time listening to the show, what we do here at the Terrible Book Club is get pissed drunk and
No,
we don't usually actually.
We never do. This is the first.
Yeah. We read books that we assume will be bad based on their cover, title, summary, or some combination of the three. Sometimes, like today, we read books that our patrons, listeners, or friends recommend. So we do the opposite of what most people do in a bookstore or while they're browsing the internet. Usually this experiment results in a disappointing read, but once in a while we end up liking the books. You know, I think more than once in a while we give books like, that was fine. You know, I don't
Chris,
think
if we're not actively sucking on the author's genitals, then it's bad, and we're bad, and we should go to jail.
This season, I want to make clear that, like, even though, sure, you know, you would assume from the name of the podcast that we're out here shitting on everything all the time. No, sometimes we enjoy that.
And sometimes, everyone, I want you to understand, it's okay if someone doesn't like something you've made, or if you don't like something someone else made. I think as long as you're not slinging baseless mud at people, you know, and engaging in ad hominem attacks, like if you have real critiques for a work, that's fine.
Sure.
That's actually good. It might help that person improve. It's okay.
Also,
no one should go
we're
to book
stupid
jail.
and like fuck us.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
We're just people reading books. We're not, you know, we're not credentialed. We don't work at some newspaper, like book journal or whatever. We're just readers. We're just readers talking about books like you would at any book club. We're just people reading books.
And we curse a lot. Content warnings in addition to our usual barnyard language. Today's episode includes discussion or mention of Jesus Christ the Lord.
Okay.
And pew-pew space laser fights kind of a little bit, maybe, if you can. I don't know.
Are people scared of lasers?
Maybe. I put some content warnings in there so you know what to expect. It's not necessarily just like, oh my God, it's going to be bad for me. But maybe you just fucking hate science fiction. So this is
I don't know how you're listening to the show. We've done so much science fiction and fantasy on the show. If you don't like
Get out.
Woo, hard.
All right, here is the back of the book summary, because even though this book is listed on Amazon, the description is just fucking blank on Amazon. I've never seen that before. It's just
I mean, it's a harbinger of what you're in for.
Sure.
Whole lot of nothing.
Here we go. Trust the Force, Luke. Wouldn't it be wonderful if there really was a Force?
This is really the back of the book?
You know, something of great and awesome power. Available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Would you pay the price to learn of its ways and surrender to its direction?
Oh, what's the price? God, that's terrifying.
Long, long ago, of a galaxy not far away, it was written, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force.
Wow, I'm just gonna take Dan McClellan and throw him at this book. Fix it.
Will you dare to lay aside your limits and trust your life and destiny to the wisdom that holds together the stars? May the Force be with you.
That Bible quote is so misused.
Hey, Paris, do you have a problem with how it just shit is randomly crammed in here kind of incoherently and it barely makes sense? It's because that Bible quote had the word force in it, it's talking about the primal force of the universe,
which is a crazy...
which isn't what that Bible quote is talking about. That's just force as a general idea of being taken by force and violence. That's what this book is, man.
Oh, it's like a weird version of Find and Replace. It was like Find and Thesaurus. What is that? Seriously, I mean, this is especially egregious because, again, with the Bible, you're talking about a work that has been translated and rewritten by different people at vastly different times. And when you are dealing with something that is that disjointed, both in space-time and linguistically, you cannot just take a word as written in the version you have and assume it means what you think it means.
Harris, I got some real bad fucking news for you. I got some real bad fucking news for you about this book.
I like that the bourbon has made you Southern. Kentucky bourbon.
That's right. All right. Characters and setting. The Lord Jesus Christ and God and Christianity and all that shit.
Does this author think God, or does the author think God is like Han Solo or Luke Skywalker?
You're not far off. We'll get there. Star Wars characters are in here kind of a little bit. Even though Star Trek is in the title of this book, it's Spock gets mentioned in one page once, and the title crawl speech of boldly go where no man has gone before. That's the only Star Trek shit in here.
Oh my God.
There's an interview with Gene Roddenberry for one half of a page. So it's it doesn't thematically look at Star Trek at all. It's mostly Star Wars.
Oh.
But I guess it was also popular at the time, and Star was in the name.
I just want to also point out that Chris is holding this book between his thumb and forefinger because it is just a tiny little pamphlet. It's not even really... It doesn't even really have any physical substance.
My fingers are wet from the condensation on the Beyonce, so I'm trying not to wet this. Must preserve this copy for historical.
It's basically a really thick napkin, like a fancy dinner napkin. That's what we're talking about.
I'm just going to wipe my mouth with this book, actually.
Oh, God.
I'm a little wet on the mustache. Anyway, the setting is the universe because Star Wars be in space and shit,
Sure,
so
of course.
that's our characters and setting. All right.
Okay.
Here is my summary of this book, Paris.
It's 4 sentences.
No, that's a page break. See, there's more over there.
I'm
but
sorry.
like, you don't need to follow along. You know what? I'll just skip past that.
I like the. No.
I don't want to turn and scroll while I'm reading, so deal with it.
Give me the mouse.
All right. Hey, you kids like these newfangled science fictions? What with the spaceships and lasers and the pew-pews and the Darth Vader and the Enterprises? Well, you know who rules the whole universe? That's right, Jesus Christ. I want you to imagine you're in church Sunday morning and the pastor had like 4 hours to come up with a homily this week, and he watched Star Wars last night, but just the first one. So fuck it, that's what we're talking about this week. What follows is the loosest threading of science fiction and Christianity I've witnessed in my entire lifetime.
Oh.
And, you know, I went to, like, Catholic school for, like,
That's
a good
true.
portion of my life.
You went to a Jesuit school, specifically, yeah.
This book is 5 chapters long, and I will summarize them for us.
This sounds very Trumpian. Because I feel like this is also how Trump speeches end up. He's, like, hurriedly writing about something he saw on TV on Fox the night before.
You know what? You're not fucking far off with, like, how, like, it jumps from idea to idea, and you're like, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
All right, Chapter 1, Star War 1. There's a real Star War happening, and Satan is kind of like Darth Vader, and Christians are kind of like Jedis.
Hey, you know what? He gets 1 point for at least assigning the bad guy to Darth Vader and not saying Darth Vader is cool and the good guy like some politicians currently in present day.
Wow, the bar is in hell.
Yeah. Oh, it's past hell.
Since Christianity calls God the maker of all things, naturally the good versus evil narrative throughout Christianity is a universe-encompassing war, so, you know, space shit. Hey, that's the real Star War. That's what Chapter 1 is. It's like, hey, there's really bad guys out there, and they're kind of like Darth Vader, but not really.
So is he saying that Star Wars was intentionally based upon biblical...
No, not at all.
No, he's just
0%.
saying, he's saying it's just a useful way to think about it, not that it was
No, he's saying there's a real Star War happening.
Oh.
And the original Star War was with, like, Satan, who is, like, kind of like Darth Vader, but he doesn't have a mask on. In fact, he's kind of handsome.
Wait, Satan's hot?
Yeah, that's really legitimately, there's a line here.
I don't...
Because he's beguiling, right? Like, Lucifer is, like, charming and beguiling, and he knows how to talk. Like, that's a big part of, like, Satan.
Yeah, we can, that's one interpretation. I'm just gonna, Dan McClellan, if you're out there, just gonna tag you in. Right here, buddy. Get in there.
All right, Chapter 2, Where No Man Has Gone Before. Winkie here heard the opening speech of the Star Trek TV show, and pretty much only that because we hyper-focused on the line, where no man has gone before.
When you said Winkie, I almost choked to death because I forgot that was the name of the author, and it is just... I'm sorry if that's actually someone's name or like what they choose to go by, but in this context, when we're already at such a heightened level of absurdity, to have the author's name be Winkie?
His last name is Pratney, too, which is like...
the moon, God.
Which, like, in British English might as well be saying, like, dick idiot or something. Like...
Yeah, sorry, continue.
From this, we spiral out into truly unknown realms of thought that I cannot make any fucking sense of. Okay, so, there is something called the Project, which is science, maybe?
Wait, what?
Sure. Hey, listen, I'm going to read this chapter and the next one in full during the rubric section. So just, like, if you have any questions, hold them until we get there.
I will shut up and absorb. Continue.
Anyways, science seeks to further human understanding of the universe, but by trying to move forward, we are ignoring where we came from. So, quote, the ancient book records 2 kingdoms. One is of the earth and concerned with earthly things, and the other is the other kingdom, which is people who acknowledge there are big forces out there and that feel a sense of great purpose and destiny.
So this is like non-believers versus believers?
I guess.
Yeah, that's my interpretation of that. Okay.
Also, there was this guy named Charles Muschin who had a lot of sci-fi books in his library and said, we've imagined everything already and science is at its limit. But aha, he was wrong. We do have a place to boldly go where no man has gone before. That place is risk.
Oh, we go into the board game?
The concept of risk. Riskiness is what defines heroes, and me and my other kingdom people are off to take great risks and venture forth. It will cost us everything, but you should come with us because with great risk you get a reward. What's the reward, you ask? Chapter 3, The New Musketeers.
Hey.
Hey, you know Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Spock? What do they all have in common? They're aliens. Strangers in a strange land.
No, they're not. They're not a strange land. That's not how it is. What? No.
You've all experienced that, right? You know who's the ultimate alien? That's right, Jesus Christ.
You know, that's a pretty common theory, though.
He was the most stranger because he came back from the dead and led the way like the new Musketeers. That's the four characters.
Why are Musketeers?
Because they're like the C-3PO and R2-D2 and Spock and Chewbacca are like the new Musketeers. Because they're they're venturing forth. Like the Musketeers.
All together.
Shut up. Also, a Bible story about Legion and how people were afraid of Legion because he was extreme, but also clothed and in his right mind.
I'm sorry. Did you say Legion?
Yes, Legion.
Okay.
By the way, don't you want to go on a journey through the stars into new worlds? Join us to go on adventure because you feel that longing we call homesickness.
So we're all aliens?
Sure, and longing, but like musketeer aliens. That are longing for home.
18th century French aliens?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. I will get
Again, this is one of the chapters that I will read in full. And in Paris, if you can make sense of it, please tell me, because I gave you the most coherent version of what I pulled from this.
All right.
Chapter 4, Sir Luke, we need you now. The world hungers for heroes. It's obvious from all these sci-fi stories that are so popular. Luke Skywalker took great risks and fought in battles to become a hero. Hey, all these movies have these battles that wouldn't matter if everything came into being through random chance. If there's no grand purpose, what's the point of all this fighting? We all know there's a true battle for good versus evil on a cosmic scale. That's why we want these heroes. And you know who was really like Luke Skywalker? That's right, yep. Jesus Christ. Join us in the battle. Chapter 5, May the Force be with you. Wouldn't it be cool if there really was a force? Early works of literature, even though the characterization sucked, allude to fate and destiny. But that's rarer nowadays. Maybe we're all hungering for that sense of purpose to drive us. Obi-Wan alluded to this when he told Vader, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can ever imagine. Luke used the Force when he fired that torpedo into the Death Star. You know who is really the Force? That's right, Jesus Christ! Okay. I mean, the executive power of the Godhead. I actually mean the Holy Spirit. The fucking whatever, join us!
Alright.
That's the summary, Paris.
It's like, cult recruiting very poorly.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. Great.
If that seemed disjointed and nonsensical, that's because that's how I fucking felt reading this shit. All right, on to the rubric. Technical construction.
Sorry, I'm still like, still getting my bearings here.
Let me take a sip of my Beyonce over here.
I need a little Beyonce myself. Wait a second. Why wasn't the Beyonce made with a liquor that is associated with Texas?
Well, supposedly bourbon is Southern. That's why they included it.
Yeah, but it's Kentucky.
Well, she's Southern, and so bourbon. Save that. We already talked about this in the episode. I know we haven't yet, but we have.
Time traveling with TBC. Yes. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Technical construction. All right. There's not really like typos or punctuation things to check. Like, that's fine. However, the formatting, Paris, if you would just like kind of take a look at this for a couple of seconds and hand it back to me after that, you will see. I feel like
I'm part of the worst magic trick in the world. You
take this book and fry your fucking brain cells. This is formatted like it's poetry with like line breaks after every sentence or thought. It's like a cheap way to try and give more weight to your words, you know? You see,
also a bunch of blank pages at the end?
Sure. But like if you look just kind of paging through it, you can see that he does the thing where like, sure, there's like a couple of paragraphs here and there, but most of it is like a single word or sentence or line to like give weight to like a list that he's listing out, or just like one sentence and then a line break happens.
Is Winkie a man?
Yes.
Super matters, but
anyway,
there's a table of contents?
Yes. I mean, there's 5 chapters. You should go in the middle. I'm not asking you to read the table of contents.
All right.
Also, there's randomly 10 pages of black and white stills from Star Wars and Star Trek with no reasoning as to it's just in there. Like, hey, these are the things that I'm like alluding to vaguely.
All right, here's the page I landed on.
Do you remember that first day of grade school? Your mother dressed you up outlandishly. You were deposited at the gate, wearing your best fixed smile to hide the stark terror in your heart. You gripped your new lunchbox tightly and gingerly ventured into the vast and terrifying world that lay before you. Remember? Junior high.
You're not selling how many line breaks
Junior
there are.
College. College. Graduate school. New job. New office. New neighborhood. It didn't end. It still hasn't ended.
Everything that Paris is saying is
Mr.
like a new
Spock,
line.
We love you.
So I will be reading that.
That was a whole page I just read.
I'll be reading that chapter in full later,
sorry.
but that's fine. No, like I wanted you to get a sense. Again, like he does the thing where like if I just section off all my thoughts into like their own mini paragraph, then obviously they're very important.
Yeah, it's very profound.
Okay.
Here you go. You can have your horrible mistake of literature.
So I hate that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Because again, it's a cheap way to try to give your barely strung together thoughts some weight as if they're profound.
It's kind of like with the Midnight Library when he was like creating all these very short, like one line or one paragraph chapters, like breaking things up to try to make it seem more than it is. You know, a whole chapter that's a fake song or whatever. Oh, we forgot to really sing. No, you did a good job.
I sang it. I gave that shit a good try.
You did.
Anyway, -1 for technical construction.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So this will be like content layout here for this thing, not plot construction. It's just like general coherence and like content layout here. This guy's premise is something like, there really is a galactic level force out there that we should submit to and follow because the war of good versus evil is really happening for real. And don't you want to be on the good guys' side? He says things are empirical fact when it's entirely his gut feeling he's talking about. Don't you feel the longing? The power? It's fact. So like his premise is just like all of these sci-fi stories are really our longing to want to belong to like a bigger purpose. And won't you join us on our purpose?
I mean, he's not wrong about people creating art to express a longing to be part of something bigger or to, in their minds, be a part of something bigger. But it's a real stretch to say distinctly that that is some form of Christianity.
And that means that Jesus is real and Satan is real and all that.
Yeah, those are not, that's very much a non sequitur. Those things are not necessarily related. Yeah.
And I mean, this whole thing has such big like youth pastor energy. Like you guys talking about them Star Wars? Don't you know who's a real Star Wars? That's right. Jesus Christ.
Did I ever tell you about the time I had to watch Shrek in a church basement?
He was like, you know who's really like Shrek? That's right. Jesus Christ.
So
he was a big green ugly hooker. He had a donkey.
So I grew up, this is a very short story, but I grew up in this neighborhood. We had a, Catholic church, which is where I was forced to go to preschool, which I quickly left because Catholic preschool is terrible. I don't know. I mean, it was for me. I was in and out in a couple
You know
months.
who's really like a square and a triangle? Jesus Christ.
Well, it's preschool. We weren't. Mostly, I was just getting beaten by nuns. So that was an easy no thanks.
You know who was really beaten by nuns? That's right, Jesus.
Luke Skywalker. Oh man, you think a ruler hurts? Try a lightsaber. Anyway, so when I was a little bit older, I was in elementary school. I think I was in elementary school. Maybe I was in middle school. Maybe I was in middle school. I forget how old I was. But anyway, church was like really struggling for attendance, cost money to go to Catholic church. And I lived in a very, as they would say, economically disadvantaged area. I lived in the hood, as the kids typically would say. And anyway, the church was like desperate to get people in the doors. And so someone at the church was like, what if we say we're going to give them ice cream and we put on a movie, and they come to the church. And so a bunch of people I knew in the neighborhood was like, yo, we can get free ice cream at the church. And I was like, oh, yo, free ice cream? Like, we were like, fucking hungry. I'll take an ice cream, whatever. Like, yeah, they're going to have Shrek on. We were like, we don't fucking care about Shrek. We just want an ice cream. It's like, a bunch of us went in there, ate ice cream, and left. And it was exactly as miserable as you're probably imagining it. Like, dark, dank, terrifying basement, priest in robes just waiting down there near a table full of ice cream. Like, who thought this was the right environment?
Do you know if he like gave a speech after Shrek or something?
Oh no, we left well before the film. We got our ice cream and got the fuck out of there. Oh,
wow, they didn't even like block you in for like, if you want to get the ice cream, you got to hear about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
No, I think they were afraid of children.
Oh,
I mean, again, didn't grow up in a great area.
All right. Well, at least they were kind enough to be like, you can have the ice cream. This is where the ice cream is. Maybe come back later for some more ice cream and you can hang out and think about Jesus.
Just so weird.
Hey, I'm glad. What kind of ice cream was it?
I think it was just like shitty vanilla ice cream with shitty toppings. Like, I don't know, we put some M&Ms in a bowl and like some sprinkles. And
all right. Well, whatever. Okay.
But you know, when you're poor, it's fine.
Again, like I was saying, this is very youth pastor energy with like, hey, you kids like the stuff. I'm always like, why do we always have to be trying to compare Jesus to like, hey, that cool thing? You guys like that cool thing that you Gen Zers like 6, 7 or what? No, that's not Gen Z. That's like the kids
Gen
now.
Alpha, right?
That's the kids nowadays.
Less.
Even less.
What's after Alpha?
You guys like that
Beta? Gen Beta?
Five Nights at Freddy's? You know who had 5 nights on the cross? It was Jesus. No, he wasn't on the cross.
Wait, was there crucifixion in Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I don't know. I'm just like, but that's what these people be trying to do. Like, any loose, tenuous. Like, why do they ever do that with like black metal? Hey, kids, you know who?
That's an easy one too.
I know. Hey, you know who was like a rebel, and you know who really was Satan? Jesus Christ. Wait a minute. No,
that's not how that works.
Shit. Okay. You know who was a blast beat? It was Jesus Christ. I don't know, man.
The Holy Trinity is like 2 blast beats and a fucking gravity blast snare.
You know who really like to screech about being cold? That's right, Jesus Christ. I just like, I hate how it's fine if Jesus is just Jesus and he doesn't have to be like, you don't have to cram him in everywhere, right?
I think it's just because they just desperately want a modern connection because religion is seen as antiquated and from the ancient world. Because I don't know, I mean, from the as close to modern ancient world as you can kind of get. But to the lay modern person, it's like, oh, that shit's old. Fuck that. I don't know why people don't like old stuff. It's weird. People are weird. But,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, Paris, in terms of general coherence here, I struggled to really understand what the fuck the point was most of the time. I did my best in the summary, and I really feel like the best way to give everyone an idea of what the experience of this book is to read about 40% of the book on air.
That's fine.
It's an 80-page book. I'm going to read chapter 2 and chapter 3.
I'm going to say those pages are generous. The word page is doing a lot here. They are very tiny pages.
So I'm just going to read to you chapter 2. I'm going to give you my little explanation of what I think was going on there. And please just tell me if you think I missed something, because I feel like I'm the stupid one.
I don't think you are, but go ahead.
Okay. Chapter 2, Where No Man Has Gone Before. Quote, wouldn't it be something to watch, to be a part of, to see it happen all over again? Kirk to Spock in Bread and Circuses.
Oh, is that an episode title?
I don't know. It's a quote up at the top.
It must be Bread and Circuses must be.
Okay.
Title.
It was an age of global restlessness. Mankind pushed north, east, west, and south, following a strange, insatiable hunger for a brave new world. It was the generation that married a worship of nature to astrotheology, a generation of proud and unyielding ambition. The generation that founded the Projects. What was it, this massive futuristic construct? Engineering combining topology and Kabbalistics, utilizing high-level esoteric sciences to manipulate a level of reality only just now beginning to be understood and explored beyond the conceptual limits of our 20th century technology? They built it because they knew that hidden in the linking equations of astrophysics and cosmic realities were somehow concealed the keys to the true nature of the universe. For all the genius of our modern technology, we have been like children experimenting with a long-suffering automobile. And by much pushing, pressing, and testing, we have found repeatable sequences, until with obvious delight and smugness, we say to our wondering friends, "See, I know what makes it go." But this generation asked more stubborn questions, and united in purpose, filled with pride and ambition, they bent their talents and their genius to conquer the world of matter, space, and time, to search out and master the secrets of the stars, to take hold of the reins of the very universe itself. Ah, we miss you, the USS Enterprise, your 5-year aborted, refitted, renegotiated mission. We miss your sweeping odyssey into uncharted realms of space and time, your crew pushing you to the warp edges of imagination and beyond.
I'm sorry. You said something about keys to the cosmos, and my mind went keys to the cosmic creations and times, and I started thinking about Emperor song. And I just sort of left.
I really need you to pay attention here, Paris, because you
started talking about kids in a car, and I was like, I'm out.
So I'll be honest with you. Yes, that's what happened to my brain too. We're like, wait a minute, we've jumped metaphors 3 times here. Continuing.
Is this person okay? I'm a little worried.
Continuing. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Yeah.
But the direction in which we are going is determined largely by the point from which we are coming.
Yep.
And more important to the rest of the universe that boldly going to, perhaps, would be where exactly are we coming from? The ancient book records the genesis of 2 great beginnings, 2 great opposing philosophies of the cosmos, 2 far-reaching, fundamentally different approaches to boldly going where no man has gone before. What happened to the project that you were talking about before?
Is that from Star Trek?
No, that's just him saying shit.
Oh, man. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched any Star Trek. I watched it a lot as a kid, and I was like, I don't know, is that just something I forgot? I don't know.
No, he just says the ancient book records. I guess he means the Bible, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that old, really.
They divide all mankind, as indeed they divide the whole universe, who's they, into 2 diverging streams, 2 adventures so absolutely unlike, 2 power sources so incompatible that those who cleave to each will never meet again at the end of the journey in this or any other world. 2 kingdoms. One began with Earth. It acknowledged only itself, its own power, its own wisdom. Its code was, man must learn to live in harmony. Its truth was, and every man for himself. And in an uneasy unison, founded on mutual pride, greed, and ambition, it attempted to build a beachhead from Earth to the stars. The other kingdom began in a lonely silence when, to a man who stood alone like a rock in a shifting sea of selfishness, a voice from beyond the stars spoke to him, and against all sense, against all possibility, against all odds, made him a promise. Your children will fill the universe. Both kingdoms are still with us. The first suffered a temporary but major disruption of ambition. When the project again, was visited in a cosmic retribution, all communications were shattered and fragmented. All self-centered construction was reduced to absolute confusion, and all work on the project was, for the time being, abandoned. But its children lived on, and today new plans are being drawn up. The old evil has been resurrected, the itch to extend its reign to the yet uncharted worlds. Harris, please tell me what is happening. What do you think he's trying to say?
I don't know, man. This is like grifting before the current age of grifting. This is like monorail grifting. It's like before the internet grifting. Like, if I can just connect enough words to 2 popular science fiction franchises, I can get people to buy this book and I can make some money.
All right, I'm going to complete this chapter.
That's my guess. Oh, God, it's not over?
No, oh no. But the children of the other kingdom, the alternate kingdom, that's not the other kingdom, the alternate kingdom, that's the difference.
Other and alternate. Why didn't you go with secondary and tertiary? For fuck's sake.
Are here with us also, though they have always been a small, misunderstood, and despised race.
Look, keep your conspiracy organized, that's all I'm saying.
A people that did not fit into the easy, accommodating answer, a people making all nations their home, and yet belonging in their heart of hearts to none. These are the people with the unsatisfied satisfaction. The great unfulfilled restlessness, capital R, and the echo of that ancient promise still rings clearly in their minds, and they are convinced that despite the great sweep of time that has passed, that promise made long ago to them will one day be fulfilled. You would like Charles Muschchin. He is a man with a great history. It sits on shelves in a comfortable frame home in Australia. A home where he hosts writing men and women from all over the world, for Charles has one of the greatest science fiction collections on Earth. Some time ago, I spent a wonderful day with him browsing through all the layers of sci-fi history on his walls, looking with awe and appreciation at some of these irreplaceable first editions. War of the Worlds, Metropolis, Tarzan, Paralandra. They were all there, from Asimov, parentheses Isaac, to Xena, parentheses Henderson.
Why would you need to parentheses their first names?
A room that had hosted Arthur C. Clarke and others of his ilk for its contents. They had come around the world to talk, to reminisce, to laugh, but I had also come to ask a question. You know, as much as any man living, where it's come from, but where do you think it's all going? Now, Charles is a hardcore man.
He's throwing down. He's picking up change. He's into that new C4 record from last year.
A technology projected, no-nonsense, stay-off-trips, classical format, only forget the fantasy buff from way back. And I felt his disappointment, perhaps a little frustration, when he said, in effect, a lot of it is going towards the mystical stuff. It's getting away from technology and going into all this fantasy. He was right, of course.
What? We're in the same chapter?
Yes. He's a historian of the form. That is where it's all going, but after all, it can hardly go elsewhere. It's been a long time since that unfortunate unmentionable stood up in a scientific convention to announce with sincere and studied deliberation, bullet point 1, that scientific research had just about reached an end, bullet point 2, that we had found out almost everything there was to know, bullet point 3, and that very soon technological discovery would touch its outer limits.
Chris, I am drinking so much of this drink during this chapter read, I don't know what to do.
How unfortunate that the pontifical announcement was to be followed in short historical order by the atom bomb, the transistor, and DNA. And the kind light of passing history will smile somewhat mercifully at his somewhat megatonic faux pas. But in the realm of imagination, we are really running a low tide. After all, we've invented anti-gravity, death lasers, time-jumped, transported, and phasered for donkey's years now.
Well,
and in the worlds of ideas, we're pretty much up against the wall.
Okay, I think this person is by themselves too much. This is just at a point where I'm now concerned about the author's well-being and their general state of mind.
We long ago got tired of BEMS and UFOs and blobs that ate up cities, let alone, heaven help us, Godzillas, Rodans, and Mothras. We've been on the planet of the apes, seen beneath it, returned to it, and conquered it until it mercifully rests in peace with its TV spin-off. Charlton Heston's inarticulate girlfriend and Roddy McDowell's makeup job. Earth has been invaded, conquered, warned, and destroyed enough times to thoroughly learn its lesson a dozen times over. So where do we have left to boldly go to anyway? Risk.
Like Jumanji, risk instead.
A good word, a trigger word, the underlying word built into the heart of a good plot, a good book, a good movie. A man, a woman, a child takes a great risk and runs a great race, and hopefully for the future of true heroes pulls everything off successfully. To boldly go where no man has gone before. And yes, my would-be Kirks, there is a new world to venture. A world where each adventurer will go, boldly or not, and there is certainty that they will never come back. The risk in this journey is ultimate. The risk requires our everything. The risk shall have our all, and all of us, one way or another, are going on the journey. It shall have us all, ready or not. 2 kingdoms. 2 diverging dreams, 2 beginnings, and 2 ultimate destinies. The child of Earth or the child of the heavens. Time is running out. The project is being built and buttressed once again. The fragmented voices and tongues are at last being unisoned around ambition. A breaking of those age-old protective barriers that have stood for centuries to prevent that dangerous coalition, and with skills learned by centuries of practice, ambition honed by a planet too small, and with a purpose fed by selfishness, the Earthchild's kingdom is again taking aim at the heart of heaven. But I have heard another call, and know there is another unity, and we know, O Earthchild, what shall be your end. And I, for one, have made my choice, and launched my frail craft already into the stream of the great adventure. And it is one way, and I will not be coming back. Will you join us on this, the costlier journey? Will you come with us, we who have heard the still small voice, and called him friend? The generation may well be the last, for the next time heaven intervenes in Earth's meddling, that visit will have an utterly final quality about it. We may well be the last, but we can also be and must be the best. The final realm. The world beyond the worlds remains at large, uncharted and unknown to our generation. Ours to seek out, ours to explore, ours to inherit the final people. Will you join us? Will you come with us? Will you do it? To boldly go where no man has gone before. Paris is dead. So yeah, Paris, explain to me what happened just now. Book report, please. So we're talking about the project, and then we're talking about 2 different Earths, and then we met Charles Muschin. Also the project again, which is, I get, it's supposed to be like science and like all you idiots trying to figure out how the universe works. You're not really
that's my understanding of it. Sorry, that really took me offline for
man.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, all right. Second wind. Okay.
Listen, I had to do that to all of you to just like cause
you did.
Again, probably when you heard my summary at the top, you're like, okay, what the fuck? Chris is not getting something straight here.
No.
I think I got it pretty straight.
Yeah, this just makes me, this is like whenever we find a book and we start to go, we read it and we go, this person might be unwell. You know, it's really giving me that kind of a feeling. It's either unwell or grifter or both. I guess I'm not sure.
I cannot see the strand of thought that is connecting, okay, there is a project that's clearly like some evil force or something about greed and ambition.
Generally science, because people think that
if you're trying to figure out how stuff on Earth works, that's bad because it's like greedy and ambitious.
This is part of kind of a larger, very common conspiracy that scientists are rich and after money, and that's why like climate change is bullshit because it's just a money game, when in reality environmental scientists don't make a lot of money. I work with them. I can tell you that from experience. Like, it's not, if you want to make a lot of money, you become a banker or you work in marketing or you do almost anything else.
Yeah, you worship Mammon, not like science.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Mammon's always there for you. He's got your greenbacks. But
why is it like greedy and ambitious to want to figure out like how the universe works? Isn't that somewhat religious even?
No, well, so you're right. Some people perceive that sort of pursuit of knowledge as an attempt to understand the divine, but the other kind of half, I don't know if it's equal halves, but another
alternate
pocket,
kingdom,
the alternate kingdom, right? The other pocket, let's say, they think that attempts like that are people trying to be the divine or become the divine, and therefore it is blasphemous and insulting to think that you could possibly determine or understand divinity. So that's kind of what we're seeing.
So that's what the project is,
I think.
Also, there's 2 kingdoms. Also,
there's 3, right?
No, there's 2.
Oh,
the
2.
Other and the alternate kingdom are the same thing. He just switched the fucking name. Because that's like
find and replace.
Those are the people that like heard the voice that's like, you will inherit the stars. Which to me seems more greedy and ambitious than just being like, I wonder how this shit works.
Yeah, it does seem that way, but I don't know. People.
And then
See the
something
same
about risk being the place that we will boldly go.
Dude, that part is real confusing to me because I think what he's trying, I think this is again another like find and replace where what he means is faith, but he's saying risk to make it seem more approachable and modern and pedestrian, perhaps.
It's like your faith is risky and you're being like you're fighting against the grand evil and that is risky and that's what like a true hero does.
Yeah, because what is risk but a type of faith, right? Because you're taking a chance without really knowing the outcome for sure, and usually it's a situation where the positive outcome is maybe perceived as less likely. Or literally, or might actually probabilistically be less likely. So that is my take, anyway.
Okay. That's chapter 2.
Okay.
I'm going to read chapter 3 now. It's a little bit shorter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. I know I'm melting everyone's brain cells, but like it happened to me and I like there's no way to try to explain and parse this unless I just directly read segments of it so people can understand what I'm trying to parse.
I mean, honestly, I felt that way about the Midnight Library, and that was more in like our current realm of reality, I guess, but I still felt like I had to read large passages because I really felt like the experience of it was going to do more than my pithy explanations ever would. So some terrible books take us down this road, so we must embrace risk and faith.
Chapter 3, The New Musketeers. Quote, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Naturally, they became heroes. Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan.
Wait, why naturally? Why would they become... What?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's a real quote from Star Wars.
Why is that naturally they become heroes?
They're in the wrong place at the wrong time, so they have to, because... things are tough.
They could fail and die in the trash compactor. I mean, that's also an option. I don't know why it has to be another way.
All right, anyway. C-3PO, parentheses, C3-PO, that's the wrong way to do it. It's C-3PO, actually.
I was going to say, yeah.
Human cyborg public relations robot specialist in galactic custom language and protocol. Gold-plated humanoid, slim and slightly ungainly, C-3PO is the companion of R2-D2. R2-D2, parentheses, R2-D2. A meter-high information retrieval and repair robot, tripodal, a thermocapsulary dehousing assister. Intrepid, stubbornly courageous, and devoted to fulfilling Princess Leia's wishes. Chewbacca, parentheses, he doesn't.
Wait, is C-3PO condemned to only obey Leia's wish? Is that?
No, that's R2-D2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, but that's... Oh, well, yeah, I mean, he just has to get her message to a person, and then I think he's a free fucking agent. Yeah.
It's like, no, I just got this one job. Again, I'm going to say what
he's a contractor. He executed his contract.
This is a 1099 gig.
He's fine after
I'm not
that.
W-2, man.
Yeah, he's not enslaved to her. Like, it's fine.
Okay, I want you to hear again the next section that I just said to you. Chewbacca, parentheses, he doesn't.
Oh, okay, that just doesn't make... What?
He doesn't Chewbacca.
Does he think baka means like tobacco?
I don't know. I think it's just a terrible dad joke when there's not a real thing called baka to
Chris,
chew.
I have a request.
Okay.
When you're done,
okay,
I would love for you to pull up an image of Winkie Pratney. I would love to read a Wikipedia if it exists. I just want to see
I did that already before.
Man. Oh, okay. So maybe you can just describe him to me and tell me a little bit about him when you're done.
Looks like an Australian man with male pattern baldness. That's best I can describe.
All right.
Anyway, Chewbacca, parentheses, he doesn't. Golden-haired gorilla-form Wookiee, variously described as having eyes that are A, blue, B, yellow, C, soft, and D, scary, depending on what you read.
He's not golden. He's
when you
brown.
read it, or
Chris,
when
I know you can't see this, but Chewbacca is brown.
I know. I believe me. He's not. He does not look like a golden retriever to me at all.
No, good. I'm glad you at least understand that there is a very serious distinction between gold
I
and...
appreciate you checking in to make sure I understood this, but it's pretty clear. I can perceive that difference. That's how stark the difference is that I can perceive it, and that is just plain wrong.
Right. Is this... Wait. So is this like how... You know how, like, water goes the other direction in Australia? Do colors go the other direction in Australia? Like, blonde is brown, white is black?
Anyway, co-pilot of the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo and rumored to be over 100 years old with a voice that sounds like a cross between a horse's lion roar and the bray of an outraged donkey.
Okay.
Part bully, part coward, but very lovably scary.
Coward?
He's never been a fucking coward. Chewbacca is always ready to, like, shoot for his friends and, like...
Chewbacca is ready to fuck people up all the time. Am I misremembering this?
No, he's not like the cowardly... he's maybe making a cowardly lion comparison or something.
Did he confuse the cowardly lion and Chewbacca? Because cowardly lion's blonde.
Okay, I don't know, man.
Fuck. That's weird. All right.
Also, Spock, no parenthetical, Vulcan science officer and second in command of the USS Enterprise.
Second in command?
Spock's Vulcan father, Sorek, and Earth mother, Amanda, gave him a background that makes identification with either race difficult.
Spock's mom is named Amanda?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
In some situations, nearly impossible. An extremely logical being with interesting ears and a hoproglobin hue to his skin.
Bluish hue?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll keep reading while you look up Amanda.
Yeah, I need to know. Was he second in command? I don't remember.
C-3PO, Spock, Chewie, R2, strange names, strange heroes, strangely endearing. So, what does a walking carpet, a metal Stan Laurel, a pointy-eared Vulcan, and a sawn-off bleeping salt shaker have in common anyhow? Alienation. They are all aliens. Maybe that's why we love them. They're all strangers in a strange land. After all, there's an awful lot of people who feel the same way, with apologies, of course, to Mr. Spock, who, of course, is known not to feel much of anything. Do you remember? This is the part you read before. The first day of grade school, your mother dressed you up outlandishly. You were deposited at the gate, wearing your best fixed smile to hide the stark terror in your heart. You gripped your new lunchbox tightly and gingerly ventured into the vast and terrifying world that lay before you. Remember? Junior high, senior high, junior college, graduate school, new job, new office, new neighborhood. It didn't end. It still hasn't ended. Alienation.
Right, I read that earlier.
Mr. Spock, we love you. We know why Bones gets exasperated with you, but we don't care. He doesn't understand you, but we do. You're different, that's all, in a way that no one can change, and you will never quite fit in the easy and comfortable mold others would like you to manage. C-3PO, it's all right to get apoplectic. Sometimes we aren't sure if we'll make it either. As for your alternate howls of bravado and cowardice, Chewie, we understand.
Oh, I'm back with my research.
Okay.
I was wrong. I'm an idiot. Spock is half human, and his mother's name is Amanda Grayson. I do not remember this. And also, so I remembered him as the science officer. He is both the science officer and the first officer, and the XO. I just forgot that. So I am wrong and terrible. Continue, Chris.
Okay, all right. We can admit our faults.
Yeah, we can.
You have become the new musketeers, sci-fi swashbucklers on ships driven by light across a sea of stars, human enough to be different, alien enough to be like us. You have come at a time when we needed you. The great god humanism mated with mother technology, and their child was our age. We were born in cynicism, raised in neo-Darwinism, baptized in pessimism, and we have mourned because we have no one to look up to that understands. If time and chance and blind undirected matter has birthed man, if we have tried the gods of East and West and found them too silly or too small, if there really is no heaven or hell or unending eternal future, they give us back our sense of wonder, restore us to the joy of our salvation, bring peace to our over-sedated minds with the only thing left. 2001, A Space Odyssey, The Chariots of the Gods, Stranger in a Strange Land, and make us more like Muad'Dib in Dune.
No! Then you didn't understand Dune, like most people fucking apparently.
Right?
It's like everyone always reads the first book and doesn't continue with the series to understand the overarching project of that narrative. Oh my god, something that makes me fucking crazy.
In the name of rationalism, humanism, and technocracy, amen. If technology is modern man's holy spirit, then science fiction is modern man's prophecy. It is the last area left of hope and awe and adventure. Dorothy Sayers points out in her own penetrating and perceptive way, the years between the wars saw the most ruthless campaign of debunking ever undertaken by nominally civilized nations. Great artists were debunked by disclosures of their private weaknesses. Great statesmen by attributing to them mercenary and petty motives, or by alleging that all their work was meaningless or done for them by other people.
Who are you talking about?
Religion was debunked and shown to be a mixture of craven superstition and greed. Courage was debunked, patriotism was debunked, learning and art were debunked, love was debunked, and with it family affection and the virtues of obedience. Veneration.
Does he understand what debunked means?
So this is a completely different author that he's quoting. He's pulling from Dorothy Sayers, who wrote a series of essays in a book called Letters to Christians in a Post-Christian World. This is just a direct quote from that.
Well, I've never read Dorothy Sayers, but
you can kind of tell it's like written better and more coherent, even though it's like a bunch of shit about like how we don't have morals anymore.
Yeah, I just hate when people are like, oh, you know, those guys, these things happen to those guys. What fucking guys are you talking about? What are you doing?
Enter the New Musketeers. We're out of the quote now.
Okay.
2,000 years ago, a man walked this earth who was utterly different from any other who had ever been born on this planet. He was born uniquely, lived incredibly, died terribly. But then, astonishingly, he came back. No one in all time was more at home on Earth than him, but no one in all history was treated more like an alien. Perhaps the saddest verse in all of literature is this. He was in the world, and though the world was made by him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. There is no loneliness on Earth like that loneliness. High in the wasted hills of Gadara lived an alien in man. He lived in caves and empty tombs, naked and insane.
What?
He roamed the plains and barren slopes at night, hissing to himself.
I'm sorry, from where was this place?
Gadara?
How does one spell that?
Gadara.
Huh. Continue.
Nobody ever came near. No one even thought about it. Nobody dared walk anywhere around there. They had all heard the rumors. People had tried once. Someone had tried to manacle him. Whatever was driving him was far more than human. He broke the chains. Just broke them. Iron chains. And smashed off the manacles on the rocks. And if you ever sailed past those hills some still and chilly evening, you could hear him high in the hills, crying and cutting himself with stones. His name was Legion. He was as alien as you can get. If ever a man didn't belong in this world, he didn't. But Legion met another man, another who didn't fit in for absolutely opposite reasons. Two alienated men.
Legion? He's talking about Legion as a person?
Yes.
An individual?
Meeting in a terrifying confrontation of power, two absolutely opposed worlds meeting where the sea touched the land, neither world representing Earth alone. An otherworld madness met ultimate sanity. Love flowed out to fear. A herd of animals stampeded into the sea. And when the locals crept in closer, trembling to see, they found him, he who was called Legion, sitting clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid.
Okay, Gadara was apparently important in, I don't know, something I completely missed in sort of ecclesiastical study. It's in modern day Jordan. There you go.
The world has always been afraid of people in their right minds. We don't like extremes. We don't like people that are different. We prefer the safe, sane, and comfortable center. We prefer the safe, sane, and comfortable center. And we habitually exclude, exile, or execute anyone who disturbs our natural, abnormal world. If it can't be explained, kill it with words, sneers, or indifference. And if that doesn't work, kill the living demonstration. But 3 cheers for the New Musketeers. We can believe in them because they really are not there at all, except afternoons and evenings are at $3.50 a ticket. We can live out our worship and dreams in celluloid, E-Star, and videotape. Yet, my friend, have you ever felt it? That strange inner longing, that inner piercing pang of sweet sadness, a longing so deep and painfully beautifully that we must almost never mention it to anyone, and if we ever do, baptize it with awkward, embarrassing names like nostalgia, wistful dreams, romanticism. How about this name? Homesickness. And then 10 random pictures from Star Wars and Star Trek. Paris, what the fuck was that?
I don't know, man. I'm reading about Gadara. I don't know about it. And I was like,
fully checked out.
It's an ancient city. This is interesting. I didn't really know anything about it.
But we jumped from like, okay, R2-D2 and C-3PO and Chewbacca, he doesn't, and Spock.
Yeah.
are all aliens, strangers in the street. No, they're not.
They're not.
They're perfectly normal in their own universe. They're not alienated.
The only weird thing about Spock is that he's half human, half Vulcan, which is unusual. But beyond that, they're all normal they're all from worlds that are extremely cosmopolitan and multifaceted, where people are from many different cultures and planets and,
they're not alien.
Right. Like, the word alien kind of ceases to have a meaning in both of these intellectual properties. They're actually about eliminating that idea altogether. They're about a cohesion of living sentient beings sharing language and customs and bandying together against things that are, anti-life, anti-self, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, the Beyonce is hitting.
You got all the bourbon in that one.
Took my words. The songstress. Anyway, self-determined, like taking away one's self-determination, one's will, one's life. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. So it's crazy to me that this person is like just ramming these ideas in there.
Anyway, they're the New Musketeers because they're both like they're doing revolutionary, like they're out of the norm, but they're not out of the norm in their own universe.
No. I mean, especially in Star Trek, because Star Trek is such an egalitarian, like peaceful. Of course, there's still antagonists in that world, and they get into issues, and lasers are fired on battleships or whatever. But I mean, in Star Wars, sure, they are part of the Rebel Alliance, but
that's not the point this guy's trying to make.
Yeah.
He's saying that because they're aliens, they're like the New Musketeers, and like were the Musketeers like alienated or like they were.
Look, my only understanding of the Musketeers are those 90s movies, and I was like,
Sure.
dudes with long hair are hot, and it explains a lot, in my life. But I've never read the books, but they were written by Alexander Dumas.
Yeah,
right?
I
Is that
think so.
correct?
Yeah. But like, okay, so he's making that connection, and then like, oh, Jesus was like a new musketeer because.
Was he?
But like we have like 2 paragraphy stanza thingies about Jesus, and then we take a hard turn into this thing about Legion and like that Bible story. And like it's so sharp that you feel like, wait, were you still talking about Jesus? Oh, wait, no, you're talking about this new Legion guy. And then there's some other guy that meets Legion and they banded together for some reason. Who is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even remember Gadara was a place. I had to look it up. So, I'm no biblical or ancient scholar, but
like that hard, like, why are we bringing up Legion all of a sudden?
Right.
In all of this?
No context, not helping your reader follow along with you. You don't want to mansplain to your reader, but you also don't want to kidnap them and stuff a sponge in their mouth, throw them in a car, and drive them to another country.
Blindfold them.
Yeah,
and,
it's like you don't want to.
No context.
Yeah, you don't want to do that either.
And then after that, the very end of it, they're like, "Oh yeah, all these musketeers leading us on this new charge. Don't you feel their big feeling of nostalgia or homesickness?"
No, none of them.
I don't understand.
None of them are well, I guess, except for the robots from a planet that got blown up.
I don't
but,
understand what point is being made here.
I mean, you can't make a point because it does not factually make sense. So he's trying to shove things together that cannot be true. So there is no point.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a wild one, Chris.
I'm done reading out loud from this book.
Beastwiththeleast. You really broke us early this year. Whew.
Rules following, like what fucking rules, man? This guy
is this feeling like book whipped? Like, are we book whipped right now?
What does that mean?
It's like I don't know.
What are you talking about, Paris?
Look,
did the
Chris,
Beyonce and this book melt your brain enough that you're also making extremely loose connections that I have no idea where you're coming from?
Well, it's like Whiplash, but it's a book. Book whipped.
Whiplash, like the movie, the jazz drumming movie, or
well, I mean,
You're
what's
talking about
funny?
literal whiplash. You're talking about like
Yeah,
all of a
what
sudden.
happens at the end
Oh,
of
I
the movie
see.
Whiplash, hence
I
its
see.
name.
I understand
Spoilers
now.
from a movie from
Like
50
he's taken
years
such
ago.
hard turns that I now have like a
Yeah.
TBI. Or
So I've been
what-
book whipped
Yes.
into submission.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, then. Anyway, rules following here. Like this guy writes like his longing for purpose beyond himself is objectively truth that everybody buys into and experiences.
Yeah.
If you can't distinguish between this feels right to me and observable truths, then we're not operating on the same definition of what a rule is.
Yeah, there's no...
Period.
I don't even understand why this book was written beyond, I want to check. Because we put some Star Wars on the cover.
No, this is like trying to recruit people into Christianity through the lens of like, hey, you like the
but
sci-fi.
Who would read that and go, yeah, sign me up? Like, who
Don't you
wasn't-
want to be a Star Wars? Don't you want to have a lightsaber?
I mean...
There's a part in the first chapter of this book where he's like, and that there really were Jedi Knights and they did have lightsabers.
What?
We'll get to
What are
that in
you
a second.
talking
We'll get to
about?
that in a second. Don't worry.
Okay, great.
Content arrangement for nonfiction
Ugh.
here. Does it make sense?
Ugh.
Absolutely the fuck
No,
not, bro.
no.
Big ol' negative one on this one.
Even sentence to sentence, this doesn't
Yeah,
make
moment
sense.
to moment. Spoiler alert, it's another negative one.
Yeah.
Prose quality. You heard that shit. I'm just going to give you a couple more choice lines
Ooh.
here.
Oh, could you scroll for those of us on the couch in the studio? Thank you. Oh,
Page
God,
21.
I'm seeing the quotes.
But I've cheated. I've read the end of the book. I know the director, and believe it or not, it's really true. The good guys are going to win. And somewhere in this century, there will arise a Luke Skywalker who hears that voice, answers the call to destiny, and takes that last long ride down the trench to put a proton torpedo of righteousness into the heart of the Death Star.
Wait, so there's gonna be a new Jesus?
Yes.
Jesus is coming back and he's
Yes.
Luke Skywalker?
Yes.
All right.
Star War 1 is over. The last Star War has already begun. Gentlemen, to your ships and follow the leader.
Okay.
Later on in the book, there is a book, capital B, containing that record. Many know of it. Few have ever read it. I think a lot of people have read the fucking Bible, man.
I guess I won't say most
Yes.
because that would be incorrect, but many people have read it.
Next line. They were not called Jedi Knights, but they did indeed have lightsabers. This
Is that a
cites...
dick joke? Like,
This
what are we...
cites Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. So, Paris, please look up Genesis
Yeah,
chapter 3,
I don't-
verse 24 and see if they got the fucking lightsabers.
It's a little embarrassing that I don't even remember an early Genesis chapter.
I'm so sure that they never said that there was a lightsaber. Maybe there was a sword?
All right. Do we trust Bible Hub?
Sure, why not?
What about Biblia.com?
Whatever, man.
BibleRef.com?
Bible, hey, flag on the field.
Sorry, I'm seeing
Yellow flag, that's the wrong Bible.
I'm seeing PornoBible.com.
Hell yeah. Where did you get that?
We don't trust the Mormons? Do we trust the Mormons?
Give me fucking any of them.
Okay,
Give me
all right.
all
We're
of
gonna
them
go
there.
with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. All right.
Okay.
3:24. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. That is not a lightsaber. That is a flaming sword to keep people out of the Garden of Eden.
Okay. All right. What does Porno Bible say about this?
Hang on. All right. What's Numbers 22, 23? Let me find Numbers. Huh.
What do we got?
And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. Someone kills a donkey with a sword, and he's like,
That's
it's a
a
lightsaber. Is it? Is it a lightsaber?
All right.
Hang on, let me check 22 and... No, this... No.
Balaam likes to smite some asses. It sounds like.
Yo, honestly, Balaam sucks. She fucking hurts this donkey, and the Lord's like, nah, smote. Dead. That's right. Fuck you. Don't hurt a donkey.
I'm gonna be like my boy Balaam and smite ass.
Oh, no, wait. Then the Lord smites the ass, too? Hang on.
Who is smiting ass? Exactly.
Man, hang on. We get a lot of unto and he and him, and it's confusing. Hang on.
Whence and whom smote the ass?
All right. Here's what the ass enters in Numbers 22:21. So let's start there.
Ass enters.
And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him.
Oh.
And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in a path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself onto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me. I would there were a sword in mine hand, for now I would kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay.
I ain't never ridden this or smote this ass, whatever.
Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head, and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me.
You keep smiting asses out here, man.
And
you fucking pervert.
And the ass saw me, and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I had slain thee, and saved her alive. And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease thee, I will get me back again. And the angel of the Lord said unto Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him unto a city of Moab.
Oh, I heard
which
Balaam
is
came
in the
after
border
you smote the ass.
of Arnon, which is in the utmost coast. And Balak said unto Balaam, Did I not earnestly send unto thee to call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me? Am I not able indeed to promote thee to honor?
You were supposed to come on me, not that smitten
Balak,
ass.
Lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that God putteth in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came unto Kirjath-Huzoth. And Balak
was like, what the fuck? I just took a shower.
And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam, and brought him up into the highest places of Baal, that thence he might see the utmost part of the people.
All right.
Why did we have to abuse a donkey? I don't know.
Why is that related in any way to, and there were real lightsabers?
You know, and now I know why I don't remember any of Numbers.
Oh, they were talking about
cares?
smiting asses, really.
Yeah.
They were just like, they hit this donkey a couple times, and God came down into the donkey, was like, hey, man, can you stop smiting my ass or whatever? I know I'm the ass, but like I'm assuming they hit him on the ass too. But
oh wait, is that what you understood from that?
The smiting of asses was like struck. It wasn't killed. It was
No. I know, I understand that part, but sorry, you thought God was in the donkey?
God, he spoke through the donkey to say,
he did.
You
yeah, that's true.
smitten my ass 3 times.
That's true.
5 being the number.
Yeah. I was just reading. I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, you kind of went far past anything about swords and shit, and you started talking about Balaam and Balak coming onto themselves.
Look, I was just hoping to find something about a sword of light and found nothing. So.
No, it's just smiting asses and coming onto each other is really.
Oh wait, it references Numbers 31, which I also read because I kept going.
There was no lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, and finally, my favorite passage in this whole thing.
I can see the note from here. Oh God.
Page 76.
Oh.
Now, Paris, I'm just going to read this with as much context as possible.
Okay.
And destiny, where it survived at all, became little more than our lot in life, enshrined in popular song like Que Sera Sera, whatever will be for the old popster. Born to lose for the country and western fan, and born to be wild for the Hells Angels. But nothing significant has ever been changed in history without a sense of destiny. All the great generals and leaders have always understood that principle. From Alexander the Great, who reputedly rode up to the Gordian knot, the puzzle marked by the legend, whoever undoes this knot shall rule the world, and cut it in half, to the little goose-stepping, toothbrush-mustached Adolf Hitler, whose stated goal was to play Messiah, redeem the German people, and reshape Europe, and who called his book Mein Kampf, or My Destiny. Perhaps the hunger for occult films and books today, like The Exorcist, The Omen, The Other, are really also hunger for an older time. Is that not saying Adolf Hitler was a great general and leader?
Doesn't Kampf mean struggle?
I think so. So
I mean,
on top of misinterpreting that,
I'm no German.
is that passage not putting
speaker.
Adolf Hitler into like, wow, what a great
Hand me that
leader?
for a second hand. all the great generals and leaders have always understood that principle. From Alexander the Great
to
Hitler.
Hitler.
But then in a disjointed next section, he says, perhaps the hunger for occult films and books today, like The Exorcist, The Omen, The Other, are really also a hunger for an older time where there was a power greater than a small and insignificant man.
Sure.
So,
but that paragraph before is still putting Hitler into great leader.
Also, when you said born to lose, I wanted to be like, live to win. Hell yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, Paris, that's a very inelegant way to talk. Did we have to bring up Hitler and the great generals?
I don't think we needed to surprise Hitler.
I don't think that was necessary. Dialogue here. The use of quotes is when I use them in like freshman English and just was like, well, this poem mentioned women, and so did this one quote from someone famous. So, related thought. That, they're just very disjointedly put in at the top of the chapter to kind of justify what supposedly is the point. But, I mean, there's not really dialogue in here, right? It's just him on some weird stream of consciousness shit.
Yeah, also checking. I was just doing a quick Google Translate on, I always thought Kampf was struggle. And yeah, I put destiny in just to see. And the options are Bestimmung, Schicksal, or Vorsehung.
Okay, so he also got it wrong.
I mean, it's Google Translate. It's not like talking to a native German speaker, but I know we have German listeners, so please tell us if Kampf could be interpreted as destiny rather than struggle. I'd love to know.
All right, Paris, this is the kind of book that makes me feel stupid because I just do not see the thread connecting thought to thought.
I think you should just feel ill rather than stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, am I stupid?
No. I don't. I agree with you that this is a disconnected, meandering journal entry of someone who is alone too much. I that's all I got.
Moment to moment, -1.
Yeah. If this could be a -2, if only.
Terriblos presence.
Oh boy.
Big tentacles enveloping me. Chaos levels. The author couldn't go 3 stanzagraphs without turning sharply into some new concept.
I like that we've but you have stumbled upon a new type of literary sectioning, the stanzagraph. So that's something.
Sure.
Cool.
Huh levels. I'm a-huhing every fucking line here, man.
You are full huh cat, like the meme.
Paris, please,
full.
God, explain to me what you think is happening
I
here.
can't.
Okay.
I mean, I already told you, this is like social isolation, mental illness.
Except he traveled a lot. He traveled quite a bit.
Really?
Yes, he was traveling everywhere and talking to people.
Dude, that
this is a social
shocking.
man. Speaking of that, please help. We were quite busy during the holidays here where we read this, so I didn't really reach out to you because, hey, I'm not going to burden you with this shit until this recording session.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would have melted every brain cell you had, and you would have been unable to attend any holiday party or gathering.
Yeah.
Cerebro's presence, -1.
Mm-hmm.
Should this exist? Would readers of this genre enjoy this? Even if you're looking for like Christian media analysis, this is the worst version of it.
Yeah.
Where there's like, you want like critical thinking or like coherently laced together theses.
Yeah.
It's not happening here, man.
Nope.
I mean, read like any C.S. Lewis letter. I know he's more fantasy than sci-fi, but at least he's trying to like.
Oh, like the Screw Tape letters?
Sure.
Or whatever?
Yeah, like something like that. That's better.
I mean, I would recommend Dan McClellan or Dr. Justin Sledge on Esoterica if you want kind of different ends of the Judeo-Christian interpretation spectrum. Both good in just very different ways. Modern scholars that I would recommend. They're very much on the social medias. You've probably heard of them if you've heard me talk about. You've probably heard of them if you listen to the show, I would guess. So yeah, plenty of very decent people out there doing good work that is not this. Good Lord.
Do we feel as if the author's goal was met? Simply no.
No.
Simply no.
Did he ever establish his goal?
I don't think. No. He's just like, hey, these sci-fi things are connected to Christianity. I still don't know how. Does it add anything new, interesting, or novel? No, because we don't even get anything deeper than good guys equal Christians and bad guys equals Satan.
Oh, but Chris, we got the stanza graph.
That's true. I guess. I guess. Okay,
Nope.
Fine. I'll give you a piddling 0.1 of a point or something.
And this is certainly a new form of literary insanity that we haven't encountered before.
Sure. You know what? Fine. All right. Cool. You've convinced me on that one. Has it taken something from us?
Oh.
Despite being 80 pages, I feel as if I am suffering from dementia because I truly cannot keep my analytical brain going for long enough to do anything besides be baffled. Am I stupid? Am I not understanding what is being said here?
Yeah.
Which is the question I posited to you before. Harris, -1 for should this exist. It's a -1 across the board in all categories. This is a -5 out of 5 for me. You know I'm gentler on the grading scale.
It's true.
This is total trash.
Chris wears gloves in this show, and even with the gloves. Oof.
My dude, my brother in Christ.
Literally?
My literal brother in Christ, you need to, like, just work the brain muscle a little bit more or something.
Oh, yeah.
Can we fix it? Big fat fucking no.
Well, yeah, but it would just have to be taken down to the bones. Plenty of people have written about Christian analogs and any
I'm
kind of...
not saying never analyze media through a Christian lens,
Right,
but like
right.
this is a rushed overnight draft of a final paper in a media analysis class that relies on line breaks to seem deep.
Dude, this is like, all right, you remember these times, like, remember like being in college and you were like in the library trying to finish assignments and you had to do so many assignments and you didn't have enough time. This is the sacrificed paper. This is the one where you were like, I am just going to write stream of consciousness and submit it. And if I get a D, whatever, I pass, I put something in. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you, patrons in Paris, for journeying through the stars with me. Because, like, out here in this space, there ain't nothing out here.
I did go to the moon. I did go to the moon.
All right. Well, thank you to our patrons and Ko-fi donors. Of course, again, happy season 11 to our
and
lurkers.
thank you, Beastwiththeleast, for sending this to us.
Yes, of course, we're getting there.
Incredible.
Our lurkers like Iridescenza, Aran, Patricia, Donnie, Last Man on Earth, R1, Gray, Puppet Self, Edrich, Nemo, Jan, Samantha, Christian, Fred, BB89, Carol, Anna, Zoe, Caroline, George, Xander, One of None, 1 in 1,000, Jake, Angela, Jihao Chend, Trendy Laws, Isaac Sack, Johanna, and Alexander, and of course our paying members like our Bad Bookworms, Ben D, Other Ben, JC, Emily, Katie M, Scott, Jakub, and Will, our exacting editors like Throttle19, Trivial Titan, and William V. along with Root Beer Cutie, Elliot, Patrick, The Ugly One, Emmy, Harry, Seven, David, Martin, Kieran, and Dee. Our loathsome librarians like Yanka, Luchek, Veronica, and Jeff, and our pesky publishers like Beastwiththeleast. Thank you so much for this true terrible book club book, man.
Yeah, this is like the ideal terrible book. I feel like this is what we thought of when we started this show. So, chef's kiss, my friend.
Yes,
Chef's
and
kiss.
thank you for the other books as well as thank you to our other pesky publishers, Miles and Athena. And of course, our Ko-fi donors like Kiwi Thing, Excavating Lizard, Mark, and Jillian. If you want some terrible books that we've read for the show, you can buy them over on our Ko-fi page. All right, Paris, I'm off to journey into the stars and just like, I don't know, have my brain strands be spooled out such that no thoughts will ever directly interface.
Well, I think we're on our way because we're about to enter our third drink to do the second episode of the season. We're going back in time.
Yeah, who the fuck cares about chronology here, right?
Yeah.
All right, Paris. Well, I'll see you after drink number 3.
You know what, Chris? I'm also realizing that we were having such a hard time sharing different implements to control the computer. We could have simply changed chairs.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, I am stupid.
Yeah, we're...
All right,
yeah,
off and away.
To hell! Thank you for listening to another episode of Terrible Book Club. Terrible Book Club is an independent podcast produced by your hosts, Bookbarella and Scribando. Sound design and effects, audio editing, and music by Oselka Sound, with occasional resourcing from the Epidemic Sound Library. Our theme song is Kiss by Urine. You can find more soothing synthy sounds like this on Bandcamp at urine.bandcamp.com. Do you want us to review a book of your choice on the show? Do you want access to almost a decade of extra audio-visual weirdness? If so, become a patron at patreon.com/terriblebookclub. If you'd rather send us a one-time tip or simply hate Patreon, you can instead go to ko-fi.com/terriblebookclub. You can also support TBC for free by checking out and sharing our website, terriblebookclub.com, subscribing to the show on your podcast app of choice, following our accounts on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, Tumblr, or Storygraph, sending your friends a link to your favorite episode, or by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, or anywhere else on the internet. To send us book recommendations and/or your adorable pet photos, send an email to terriblebookclub@gmail.com.